Well, let's look at this now. Umuthi Healthcare Solutions has come under intense scrutiny. Investors are said to have lost millions of rands after a muddled listing on the London Stock Exchange. It's alleged that investors were sold shares that simply did not exist. Umuthi Healthcare Solutions was publicized as a technology-led business distributing pharmaceuticals. Our reporter Barry Bateman is tracking this story for us and joins us now for the latest. Barry, trading of the Umuthi shares have been suspended. What is the thrust of the complaints from the shareholders?
Yeah, good afternoon, Clement. Well, I met with one of the shareholders today, Anthony Morris, and he claims to represent about 35 other shareholders. He says, and this is the high point of the complaint, that there's been a misrepresentation, that they were promised certain things when they were buying these shares, and these have simply not materialized. For example, he says that they were promised shares to be listed at £4. When they were eventually listed, they were only listed at about 40 pence. There were various other aspects related to the purchase of these shares, access to certain funds as well, which they say did not materialize. Now, the company Umuthi was listed on the London Stock Exchange in March this year. 6 days later, it was suspended, or trading was suspended, rather. They then worked through a process with the authorities in the UK. There was trading again allowed earlier this year, but again, trading was suspended, and that's the current status quo, while the UK, a Financial Conduct Authority, conducts its investigation related to these shareholder complaints.
What has been the response then from Umuthi? What are they saying?
I had a sit-down today with Umuthi Chief Executive Gert Viljoen, and first off, he says that there has been no misrepresentation, so I must make it quite clear that he rejects the allegations that have been made by the shareholders. He says it is more of there is a technical confusion related to their understanding of what the price of the share would be once it is listed for trading. He also suggests that there are ulterior motives on the part of the people making allegations against the company. What he does say is that to become listed on the London Stock Exchange is not just a simple process. It has taken them 3 years. They've gone through all the regulatory hoops that are required. They've gone through the auditors and are working closely with the FCA in London to address these concerns that have been raised by the shareholders. So he says he takes the allegations very seriously. He says that there has been no misrepresentation, and they are working together with the authorities. Now, I've put together this package taking those the versions from the various parties. Take a listen.
Umuthi Healthcare Solutions started trading on the London Stock Exchange on the 4th of March this year, but trading was suspended 6 days later. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority says the suspension was because some shareholders who were involved in a share exchange agreement prior to the company's admission to trading were not able to trade all of their shares. Anthony Morris is one of those shareholders.
Myself and about 35 other shareholders, representing some 40 million out of the 92 million shares, were sold hard on a couple of things. A £4 listing price, documented by the CEO and the representatives over and over again. The company's going to list at £4. So really, we were sold on a picture which didn't come true. On the 4th of March, Umuthi listed at 30p. None of us signed up for the 30p listing.
Morris says he bought the shares from company representative Connie van Nieuwkerk, who is alleged to have made the misrepresentations with the knowledge of company chief executive Gert Viljoen. Van Nieuwkerk rejects this, saying she was merely a listing coordinator and has facilitated trades between shareholders. She adds that shareholders will be able to confirm their shares upon the restoration of trading. Viljoen has told eNCA that there was no misrepresentation. He says as per their prospectus, the shares were valued at £4 at the time. Viljoen says Umuthi is working closely with the UK authorities to address their concerns, and is confident trading will soon be restored. Meanwhile, the Hawks has confirmed the allegations are being investigated, and the docket has been sent to the National Prosecuting Authority for a decision on whether or not to prosecute. Barry Bateman, Johannesburg.